Okay, so hello everyone. Good evening. It's Mohammad Ishan Dakhi here from Dubai, UAE. First of all, I warmly welcome you all to this weekly webinar series organized by Hub of Finance Transformation-HOFT, that is empowering finance professionals to play a business-centric role at the forefront. And today we are going to cover our week 4, that is Wellness 360 for finance professionals. It's going to be presented by Hisham Jbeili, who has already joined us from Saudi Arabia. So I hope, first of all of you are doing great and staying safe at your places from wherever you are, whichever country you are joining from. And today we are going to cover a very interesting topic. And this is a topic actually which is very rarely covered in any other accounting and finance learning platforms these days, because most of the focus these days, as you know, is on emerging technology or digital technologies and business partnering, FP&A. Although those are very important topics, of course, for the professional development of modern and finance professional and part of the future skills requirement for finance professionals. But when we talk about the wellness, of course, this all starts from our own self, because if a finance professional, he is not able to lead or manage himself, then how he can lead others in their teams and their organization. And of course, as we know, due to this outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic, which has, apart from economic and financial impact, of course, it has a very huge psychological and mental impact also on many professionals, as many professionals, they have lost their jobs. Some people, even those are on their jobs, they are facing tremendous amount of pressure on their work. Some are working remotely, feeling isolated from their peers. So of course there are lots of pressure. Psychological impact is also there. So I think this is very important and interesting topic that's going to be presented by Hisham, who has some expertise in this area as well. He's also, I think, taking certain expertise in area and coaching in this area for Wellness 360, so we can get lots of value from him. And we know Hisham from Mecca CFO Academy as well, as he is a senior Mecca alumni as well. And we met him in the conference, Strategic CFO Leadership Conference in Dubai also last year in 2018. And I believe you can get lots of value from him, from his experience and from his expertise on this area. So as I can see, many of you are joining our webinar, I think, for the first time. So just before giving the session and to Hisham and starting this topic, just I would like to quickly give you the background of our platform, that is Hub of Finance Transformation, who is the organizer of all this webinar series. So this is actually a 3 months webinar series that we have initiated for the global community of finance professionals. So it is like a 3 month learning and development journey. And I can see like there are many professionals from different parts of the world who are attending our regular weekly webinars. And we have lots of webinars also in the coming weeks as well. Like, as I mentioned, it's a 3 months weekly webinar series. And we collaborated with lots of finance speakers from different parts of the world who are presenting on different areas of finance, leadership, technology as well. I will give you some detail as well. So just I would like to quickly tell you about our vision and mission. As you can see, the main purpose and the mission of HOFT, formation of HOFT, is to support the global community of finance and accounting professionals who aspire to transform themselves into the role of strategic finance leaders. And actually, we want to build a global network community of like tech-savvy and strategic finance professionals who want to add tremendous amount of value to their employers, businesses, as well as the communities. And these are our core values, as you can see on your screen. And these are our main contributors. I can see like strategic contributors at HOFT. Like, as I mentioned, as you saw in our core values, one of our core values, collaboration. So we collaborate with lots of speakers and subject matter experts from different parts of the world. As you can see, Mohammed and me, actually, we are the founder of this platform. We work together to form this platform for the global community of finance professionals. And we have lots of other experts in the field of finance from USA and from Dubai, from Pakistan, as you can see on your screen. These are the main contributors, I can say, in the HOFT platform, Hub of Finance Transformation, and they provide us with their latest contents and research in the field of modern finance and emerging and digital technologies as well. And this is the framework that we have formed at HOFT. As you can see on your screen, this is based on 6 main pillars of leadership, including personal, public, technology, operational, strategic, and financial leadership. So during our previous summits, as well as during this weekly webinar series, we try to give flavors from each of these pillars from different subject matter experts. Like, it's not like this that one person is going to present everything. We have collaborated with different subject matter experts who have expertise in each of these areas. Like today, we are going to cover the Wellness 360, that is a part of personal leadership. So it all starts from our own self, because if finance professional, he's not able to manage his own self, if he's not able to manage his 4 dimensions of, you can say, resilience, like physical energy, physical part, spiritual, mental, social, emotional. So of course, how he can uh, act as a leader and influence and impact other people within the organization. So it's all start from their own self, public leadership. So same like this, we have in our previous week summit, as well as in our upcoming summits, we are going to cover lots of different areas from strategic, operational, finance, and public leadership as well, from different subject matter experts from different parts of the world. And these were our just main contributors, but we have lots of other speakers as well who are lined up for this weekly webinar series. So without taking no further time, I will just release my controls and give it to Hisham. Hisham, are you with us?
Yes.
Okay. Just let me make you the presenter. So,
Yes.
okay, here you go. Okay.
All right. Okay, thank you, Muhammad, for the introduction. Before I get to the juicy stuff, I just want to share with you 2 important things. Number one is that we are in the Hub of Finance Transformation, and I like the word transformations because we are here to transform life. We are not here to tell you information, but we are here to guide, to support you, to unlock your full potential. So we are in a transformation journey. And the second thing is that through the mirror neuron, which they discovered, is that the importance of the community. You become with whom you hang with. You become your conversations. You become your influences. So this part of community will give you a really, surrounding yourself with like-minded people, an opportunity to be at your best, to think of your full potential. So let's get started. So my presentation is about I will challenge you at the beginning and I'll tell you a story, which is part of my story. And then we will dive into Wellness 360 and what does Wellness 360 mean. And then we will tackle the important organ in your body, which is the brain. And then we will work toward the motivation and the motivation equation. And then when I will give you the top 6, one of top 6 of my best for having more energy and vibrancy in your life. And if we have the time, we will go through a 5 minutes meditations to calm ourselves, to remember, to think of the larger pictures, to have to be grounded, to have focus, and to be looking at our best from a meditation aspects. So a little bit about me. My mission is that I want to be the change that I want to see in people. So I challenge myself on every day. Actually, I'm challenging myself right now presenting to you. So I have to get out of my comfort zone and start doing things new to me. My value is happiness. That's the first thing I pursue, even if I am challenging myself on every day, but I seek joy in everything that I do. I seek mastery, longevity. I have passions toward fitness, biohacking, and aging. I am a lifelong learner, and I love to help others. Actually, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician. I'm a finance professional like you with 12 years of experience in different positions and different industry. I'm ICCA member and a Master of Professional Accountancy, and actually I'm seeking MBA from Jack Welch Institute. My passion to holistic wellness never ends. I love fitness, I love nutrition. I'm a holistic wellness coach in training from IWAP. And I'm pursuing at the same time a certificate in fitness and nutrition. So I'm quite busy actually with these stuff. My area of focus is that finance professionals who wants to have more vibrancy, who are enthusiasm and wants more energy in their life, and to take better decisions, to influence and inspire. And that's what a finance business partner do, is that they influence and inspire across all the organization and act as a real partner for the success of others. So before we start, so I was thinking, what content can I provide to the audience? And I'm sure that all of you interested in rapid growth and exponential growth. So I asked myself a question: when is the time that most human has the fastest and rapid growth and developments? And after researching into the area, and I got to the work of Dr. Greg Well, to give credit work to, and when he searched that area, he found that the fastest growth and developments happen after the post-traumatic stress. Think about it. When do you feel like, or when you redefine yourself, or when you exercise after you maybe having a heart attack, and when you think you have changed priorities, maybe if you fail on something, maybe if you lost your job, now you think of doing something different. So always after these post-traumatic stress, the people, whether they go on the upward growth trajectory or whether they fail and they never get up. But today I was wants to discuss what on the positive side, what happened after the post-traumatic stress. So let's take the positive. Now, the 5 characteristics that people describe after the post-traumatic stress is that when they are on the growth trajectory, is that their priorities have changed. Now, they maybe, if they have a heart attack, or they maybe lost a beloved one, or maybe they lost their job, now their priorities have shifted, right? They will become closer to family and friends, because when area of their life is out of balance, because maybe they are working so hard, thinking about their professional life and forgetting about other areas, they are about their families and friends. They know who they are, and they have a new sense of purpose, and can focus on their dreams. Now, on the other side, which is the mirror opposite, what do people think when they are on the deathbed? So think about the growth and the regrets. So when they say priorities have changed, people on the deathbeds, if they haven't expressed their full potential, they wish they had the courage to live a life to themselves, right? Closer to family and friends. The mirror opposite to it is, I wish I had spent more time with the family and friends. I know who I am now. They were saying, I wish I had expressed my true feeling more. New sense of purpose. I wish I had not worked so hard, and can focus on their dream. I wish that I had led myself to be more happier. So here's a question for you. Can we create growth without trauma? It's really an interesting question, because do I have to wait until I have maybe a heart attack, or do I have to wait the next traumas to be on that exponential growth? And the answer to it is yes, we can create a growth without a trauma. And here's come the power of a challenge. Think about it. I need you. You don't have to wait for that next trauma. What you have to do is to challenge yourself. So ask yourself, so what will be the next challenge that you want to pursue? Ask yourself, what will be your next dream? Dream about your health set, about your mindset, about your heart set, about your spiritual life, about your professional life. What do you want from your health? What do you want from your career? What do you want from your relationship? So you have to challenge yourself on a constant basis. But wait a second, if you set yourself a goal or a challenge, that means more threat, more anxiety, right? If you tell yourself that I want to open a new business, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to run the 10K, I want to practice five days a week. So anxiety gets in, right? And when anxiety gets in, the more cortisol into the body. And what cortisols do to your body is that it blocks, and to your brain, it blocks learning and creativity. So that's why you end up feeling to have this challenge. That's why you revert back to your comfort zone. So how we can pivot? So how we can pivot from threat to a challenge, because really it's a game changer for you if you think about a threat and turn it on to a challenge. Now it appears to be that the brain is connected to your body through two nerve systems, which they call the sympathetic and parasympathetic. The sympathetic is that this is what they call the gas, and the parasympathetic is that the brake, performance, and then you have the recovery. In the sympathetic system, your eyes, this is when stress gets into your body. This is when you are in a threat mood, your eyes dilate. You have dilated pupil, your heart accelerates. That's when you feel when you're stressed out. Maybe stomach, you inhibits digestion. In the parasympathetic is that it's constrict the pupil, your heart slow down. And this is what happened when you meditate, and this is what we will practice at the end of the session. When you meditate, you actually, by demand, and actually this is a deliberate practice, you are turning yourself from a threat to a challenge through these kind of system. You will check a video of Felix. Felix, he's a skydiver. And actually, he challenged yourself. He see the things that he did as a challenge and not a threat. And he went out to the space and jumped from the edge of the space, actually, and he beats the sound barriers in 2012. I want you to check this video and reflect, and then we speak after.
Release.
So,
Right now, the whole reflection. I'm going over. Away. One field
All right. Okay, so it's wide, right, but cool, and see the Philic at the edge of the space, and before 2 months of the mission, he just freaked out. You know, he couldn't just stands to wear his suit. And by the way, Felix he's not doing this for the first time. He's a skydiver, and he did airplane jumps, you know, more than we maybe post on our general lecture in you know, in our profession. So it's not the first time he's doing this, but he just freak out when he did this. And the way he's overcoming, because he works with the psychiatrist, and what his sports psychiatrist do is that he do two things. It's just he slow his breath down, and with tiny little steps also he give him a positive affirmations of positive talk. And you know that the power of the words that you're giving to yourself when you say that I can do it, I'm successful, I can make it. So here's a question for you. You have to ask it every day. What's the one thing that you can do that is little outside of your comfort zone? We are here to challenge ourselves, and I know that you are challenging yourself on every day, but you have to have the awareness, because here's a 3-step success formula that with better daily awareness you can make better daily choices, and with better daily choices you will start seeing a better daily results. This is me before I was a heavy smoker. I'm seeing this as a threat to me. I couldn't stand to leave the cigarettes. You know, this idea has freaked me out, and just thinking about it. And but here's me now after 6 months. I never, you know, I've been a non-smoker right now. I never smoke again. And also, this is me before hitting the gym, and this is me after the transformation that I have, you know, commit myself and challenge myself to. And with the power of these words that I'm telling myself on every day, with the power of the meditations, because I meditate on 20 minutes a day, I will be able to be grounded and focused, and you know, pursuing to be at my best. Change is hard at first, yes, maybe in the middle, but at the end it is really gorgeous, and it's worth your time and dedication. So before I go to the Wellness 360, anybody has any question?
Yeah, if anyone has any question, they can just drop in the chat box so Hisham can address. Otherwise, we can continue and address at the end. So if anyone has questions so far, please just post in the chat box. I think you can continue, Hisham. If any question, then we can address from the chat box during the session.
Okay, great, Muhammad. So Wellness 360. Here's an idea, and this is a graph for you. Our health and well-being affected by all area of our life. Now, when it comes to wellness, people think that it's all about the food that we ate or the body movements. I mean, whoever wants to live a healthy life, he said to himself that he always start with dieting. So he searched the best diet there in the media and the best exercise he can do. So but it's not the fact that our health, it's just food and exercise. As you see in these pictures, it's just part of the story. The physical part, which is the food, the sun, the body, air, rest, these things that we can touch, it's also, this is the internal things, but there are other things that get affected by it, which is, we will talk about it. And our health can be impacted by taking a whole and true holistic approach. That's the modern medicine that they will give you the advanced technology. They define you by the numbers. So you go to the doctor and he said to you that, you know, your numbers telling this, and this is the prescriptions that I want to give you. So he leave you without knowing the root cause of the problems, and he leave you with a little choices and more confused. The holistic approach is taking a multiple factor. It's not the food and the water and the body. It's also the mental and your emotional well-being. It's your career, relationship, finance, spiritually, and much more. Because think about it. If you have a trouble in your relationship, if you are if you are not doing well professionally in your career, how would that affect your food? So everyone is unique. So you can't just seeing somebody and having, let's say, paleo diet or whatever diet he's been using, and you try to apply it to you, because his circumstances will be different. Maybe he's in a good relationship. Maybe his mindset, yes, he's clear. He knows that food is medicine, but for you, it's a different story. And maybe there are other areas that you need to work on before you think about trying to have a new diet or a new exercise for your body. So symptoms are connected. And through the Wellness 360, we're trying to have a root cause of the issue. Here's the Wellness 360 graph. As you can see, these were the internal areas, and those the external area that influence the internal area, like relationship, your purpose. You must have a purpose and mission in life. So your spirituality and mindset, finances. If you have trouble in your finances, you don't expect that you will eat well or move well. Your career also get impacted. There's no much to talk about these elements, because every element I could have one session to talk about it. But what I'll start with the most intelligent organ in your body is your brain, because if your brain is healthy, you will be able to take better decisions. So brain run the world, right? And it's run the stock market, the local market, and huge corporations, mom and pop shops down the street. It's run government as well, and true, it's run you. Yet we rarely think about the brain, which is a huge mistake, because success will always start with a healthy brain. So the bigger idea is that with a little forethought and the right plan, you can boost your brain and improve everything inside your life. The problems with the brain is that affects about 200 million Americans at some point in their life. And the symptoms you can see, it's like brain fog, memory problems, depression and anxiety, insomnia, attentional issues, and being overweight and obese. And this picture actually, the holes you can see inside the brain relates to the low activity inside the brain and low blood flow. inside the brain, and this is not an MRI for the brain. It's something called SPEC, which they doing it by through Amen clinics, and this is new to the brain surgery, to the brain and industry, and actually I have took a course in and I've become also licensed to teach you this course as well. But I'm just picking up some of the elements that you might be interested in. And as you know from this pictures, that as you age, your brain will age as well. So you see in this picture is a 50 years old. 50 years old brain, and typically an 82 years old aging brain. You see that holds. And this is Doris Rapp, which is 82. That means you can control how fast your brain is aged. She's 82, and see how healthy her brain she has. So here's the symptoms, 14 warning signs that you know that your brain is in trouble. So first, you have a memory less than 10 years ago. You have low energy, low mood, irritabilities, anxiety, stress, worry, short attention span, and brain fogs, impulses and bad decisions. Could be insomnia, high blood pressure, high blood sugars, weight issues. This could be related to the problems inside the brain, sexual dysfunctions, and non-compliance for your health. This is a new study and research which is really should scare the fat of anyone. As you age, your brain size gets shrink. So we want to avoid the dinosaur syndromes, that you have a huge body with a little size of brain. Anyone concerned? Yes, some anxiety is good. So here my motivations to you is three items in the equations, which is purpose multiplied by small actions multiplied by energy. So first, if you want to establish any new habit, if you want to establish any new rituals, so you have to find a purpose. If you want to read, if you start reading a book, you have to start asking yourself why you want to read the book. Or you want to start asking, if you didn't read that book, what will you losing? And then it comes to the tiny actions, small actions. You don't have to read on every day, or maybe you don't have to read 50 pages a day. You can just split it into manageable part, like, for example, reading 20 or 30 pages a day. And then, even if your mindset is good, if you want to read, if you have the purpose and you know exactly why you want to read that book, and you split it into manageable actions. If you are fatigued, so how you could read? So so how we can ensure that our brain is healthy and energized as it can be? So number one is, we must have a good brain diet. And here is my top brain food. Number one is the avocado. Number two is the blueberry, which they call it also the brainberry, broccoli, dark chocolate, egg, green leafy vegetable, salmon, sardines, turmeric, and walnuts, as well as water. I remember I was doing a wild fit program, if you heard about this program, and the first thing is they teach you is to add on good stuff instead of cutting the bad stuff, because when you add on good stuff, you will have you'll fuel your body with the perfect nutrients that will help you limit the bad stuff. So we used to have this a green smoothie which called Alka-Jazer, and it contains a lot of avocado and green vegetable. It's like you have it in the first thing in the morning, and it's really a good nutrient for your body. And the second best important thing is the exercise. And And really, I could have one more sessions for exercise, because it's really means you know, a lot to me. I exercise on a daily basis, but you can, if you are not into exercises, at least 20 minutes a day can do the perfect you know, job. And exercise, it releases the BDNF, the brain derived neuric factors, and this is what you know, repair the damaged self and create a new circuit inside your brain. Because as you know from the neuroplasticity, is that you can create a new self. You are not born with the brain you have. You can change it, and you can change it for the better. And exercise, it's really a way to help you to create this new connections between the body and the brain. And through neurochemistry, neurotransmitter, which is dopamine, it's the you know, happiness neurotransmitter. And this is what you get when you have a like on your LinkedIn or Facebook. And the marketer knows very well, because they use the social medias to hit your dopamine level. It's reduced by exercise. You reduce a cortisol level, and cortisol, by the way, it's really high at when you wake up in the morning. So if you exercise first thing in the morning, you can drop this cortisol level, and you have more energy and vibrancy throughout the day. It's release also serotonin. It's the inspirational. You go throughout the days having more inspiration. And oxytocin, which you get when you hug your kids, you hug your wife. This is the hugging you know, neurotransmitter. And then the third tip is you killing the ants, which is the automatic negative thoughts. If you think you can or think you can't, you are right, because your daily behavior reflects your deepest beliefs. So so you have to you know, think about your limiting belief, and trying to avoid this kind of thoughts. You learn. Yeah, I just can't tell you how important it is you know, to learn on every day, to learn a new skill, read new book, even engage in this wonderful community, and you know, could learn from each other. Also positive peer group. And I have mentioned at the beginning about the mirror neuron, the imitation neuron, that if you spend time with like-minded people, you will become one. If you want to be a billionaire, you have to spend more time with you know, with billionaire. If you want to be healthy, yes, sure, you have to stay with healthy people, right? And the importance of sleep. Sleep is, as you know, your body contains a lot of lymph nodes, which is protect your body and fight diseases, but the brain doesn't have any lymph. So how the brain release the toxic inside it? It's appeared that when you sleep, that 85 billion neurons inside your brain shrink to about 60%, to create more capacity for the brain. And what it happens at night when you sleep is that your spinal fluids come and wash your brain. So sleep recovery is very, 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 very important. And here's now come to the meditation session, but I would like to have some questions before we have this 5 to 7 minutes meditation.
Yeah, I think one question is from Mohammed for you. I think relating to your transformation you showed in the picture. What was your key motive to change?
Okay, my key motive, Muhammad, to change is the credibility, because I have a passion toward wellness and fitness. And the most important things is about your credibility is that you have to live your message. So if now I'm teaching you this stuff and I want you to be the healthiest in the world, I have to be healthy as well. And I have, if I'm advising people to stop smoking, I have to be a non-smoker, right? So my first motivation is, if I want to show up to the world and you know, trying to serve that purpose inside me, and filling and the passion that's filling me, I have to act I have to live that message. So this is the key inspiration for me to transform my life. And it's not only the mindset issues, because, you know, every smoker or everyone who wants to transform he knows very well that transformation is necessity, right? And they know that smoking is bad, and it's the #1 cause of cancer, but yet they don't act upon these type of informations. And that's the power of the why. You have to go to your why and understand exactly why you want to do this. And it's not the first why that may be the answer. You have to go very deep. Maybe you have to ask the 1 to 2 to 3, 4 and 5 whys until you figure out. And by the way, meditation and reflection, you sit in the total bubble of total focus, and you sit with yourself and trying to reflect and to understand exactly why you are doing this, and why you are smoking, why what smoking is doing to you, and by being aware of what this do to your body, to your vision, to your purpose, to your passion, you just change routes, and you know, and you challenge yourself, and you have to be disciplined, because, you know, change is really hard. It's a lonely journey, because I really have my suffer when you know, the first 2 or 3 months when I stopped smoking, but I'm always keep reminding myself of why I quit in the first place. So I hope that I have answered your question, Hamad.
Yeah, there is one more, Hisham, from Thomas. What kind of diet do you follow? Do you recommend taking additional supplements?
Okay. Supplements, as you said, it's to supplements what you have been eating. So I would rather rely on basic nutrients. I mean, there's no perfect body for anyone. Your body is a laboratory. You need to understand this, because your body always tells what's good for you. So don't get the same mistake that I have, because I'm always seeing people, you know, posting on the social media saying that this food transfer my body. This kind of supplement also did this to my body. So every item or everything is unique to that person. For me personally, I just you know, cook my own food. Yes, it may be take a time and a plan to do it, and actually this is my day. So on Saturday I cook my food for and also my wife helped me on this, because she's conscious about the health of the family as well. And that's the power of having you know, a positive you know, environment through you know, inside the house, because I'm also caring about my kids you know, health. So so the basic thing is that always your plate has to be you know, more vegetables inside it. I mean, so think of your plate as 3/4, like you could have small carbs. You can, like, for example, rice. The other part is protein, because protein is good for your muscles if you are practicing on a daily basis. And the most of the place, it has to be vegetables. I mean, 3 things. About the supplements, maybe you could take basic things, like protein shake in the morning or before sleep. And if you are exercising, you could have also amino acid, multivitamins, also fish oil to protect your heart, So it helps and aids in fat loss. Hello?
Okay, yes, Hisham. So you want to take more questions or at the end now, because we have more questions.
Yeah, I personally let's have the meditation session, Zashin. This is what I prefer right now, and then we could reflect on other more
Sure,
questions, if right.
sure. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
So, so before we get into the session of meditation, just a little things that you need to be aware of. I need you for your breath, when you take the breath, it's not just from the chest level. It has to be from your belly. I mean, your belly needs to be expanded. So when you take the breath, so feel the expansion in your belly and not at the chest level. And when you breathe out, when you release the air, it has to be very slowly, like this. So you take a deep breath from your nose and then release from your mouth. Then this is very important tip. So when you're ready, guys, are you ready, Muhammad and the guys, to start the meditation session?
Yeah,
Yes, you are
sure. I
ready.
think everyone is ready.
Okay, great. So please, when you're ready, close your eyes. Breathe deeply through your nose and exhale fully through your mouth. Breathe deeply through your nose and exhale fully from your mouth. Keep your eyes closed. Breathe in gratitude. Release insecurity. Breathe out optimism. Release timidity. Breathe in confidence. Breathe out all worries. Breathe in creativity. Breathe out any form of mediocrity. Breathe in strength. Release weakness. Let go any tension that is remaining through your mouth. So any tension, release it through your mouth. You will feel much more peaceful, grounded, fearless, creating, and you are not holding anything from yesterday that no longer serve you. Keep breathing. Breathe in. Breathe out. And I want you to meditate on 3 universal truths. Number 1 is, anyone hurts you in the past did whatever he did based on his level of consciousness. And if he know better, he will do better. Breathe in forgiveness, release resentments. Number 1. Number 2, while wait for heroes to show up in the world, while you have genius, gift, and talent inside of you. Whether you are on the top of the mountain or in the valley of the darkness, you have a premier genius and strength and power that is not embraced yet. You are stronger than you know. And what happens with you in the past served you to become who you are right now. You can curse the darkness, or you can be one rare air that who light a candle. Breathe in glory, breathe out resentment. Breathe in energy and breathe out apathy. Number third and final universal truth I want you to meditate on is that genius is not about genetics. It is about your daily habits. It's about your daily rituals. So breathe in excellence, remove mediocrity. A little of breathing in and breathe out. Now I want you to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes and legs. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So how do you feel, guys?
Yeah, I think it's more positive, peaceful, and relaxing.
Yeah, I mean, when I start meditate, it's like, a hamster, it's just spinning inside your head. I couldn't stand for 1 minute, but when you get used to it, it gives you a mental focus. It makes you grounded and think of the bigger picture and connecting with yourself, and you being aware of what's going around you, because most of our times we are on our heads. The prefrontal cortex, that's the one that has been activating all the time, so we need to shut it down, and here's the power of the recovery and rest. So it's not about hard work. It's not about performance all the times. Also, you need a time for you to sit and relax and reflect and sleep. So you will become more and more grounded and have more power and energy throughout the rest of your life. So any question? If you have any questions, guys. So
Yes, Hisham, there are some questions from the audience. One question is from Imran, but I think it's maybe he got his answer during meditation. But if you want some additional comments, he asked, we usually have overburden with office work, which creates anxiety and stress. Sometimes we think to run away from such situations, but no other choice. We keep struggling and living in miserable life. What your viewpoint to handle such situation?
Well, yes, meditation is one thing that have served me very well. So at your office, actually, you can sit with yourself, at the office, and you can do it, by the way, at any form. You can do it while you're standing, while you're sitting, while you're laying down, just for 5 minutes or maybe 3 minutes, just to re-energize yourself. And again, and the second best things that you can do is you maybe could have a nap. I don't know if that's allowed in the office, but you can have a nap of 20 minutes or 15 minutes. It's also one of the strategies that I have, to connect with myself and have more energy. And by the way, you can have also a dark chocolate, and it's because cocoa is full of flavonoid, and it's really give you more, expand your blood vessels and give you more energy. So you could have in the afternoon a bar of dark chocolate, but it has to be more than 70% cocoa. So milk chocolate and this kind of stuff is not what I recommend. And also you can do journaling. It served me a lot when I feel I feel alone, I feel like giving up, and I feel stressed out. I just have this my personal book, and I start writing about what I'm been grateful for, my blessings. I just write until I just release what tensions can I have throughout the day.
Okay, there is one more question from Mohammed Rafi that he need to ask how to strike balance between personal and professional life in this fast-moving life.
Sorry?
How to his question is like, what ingredient adaptability for healthy life to balance personal and professional life in the fast-moving life? If you can give any advice.
Yeah, actually, what works, for me, it's like the life is you accelerate in one area, and you compromise the other area. I mean, when I pursue the professional life and work heavily on the project I have, or the demands from the office, actually I forgot the other area of personal life, and my relationship get affected. I couldn't have the time to spend more quality time with my kids and family, and not until the COVID-19 and COVID-20 hit the world, and we spent around 3 months in our houses, and it got me thinking of why I'm doing this. Doing a lot of time and dedication spent in the work, and forgetting about the other part, which is really affecting also my career. Because if you are not feeling balance in at home or with your personal life, you will not be able to perform and execute well on professional life. So what I discover is that when I come to home, it's just I'm really fully present and attentions to my wife and kids. So the work is work, and yes, sometimes you have to get your work with you. I can understand this, but try to figure it out. It's unique to you. You have to figure it out, and you see what's worked best, and what hasn't worked, for you so far. And but my advice is that when you are with your family, when you are with your friends, when you are doing an epic work, you just live with the moment. Just give it your full attentions. Don't get distracted, or don't get out of balance into one area over another. Just when you are at work, be at work. When you are at home, be at home. Be present. And I think this is what have served me very well, during the last days or previous days.
Okay, Sham, there are some questions relating to meditation. Just I will try to merge them. So because now as we are already reaching to the end of the session, so it's relating to meditation. One is like, what is the suitable time? Is it in the morning, evening, and also do we need to do it regularly to get expertise in this area? Like, is it more frequently we need to do, or like how frequently we need to do, and also like how we can find the time like during our busy life for the meditation. So it's I think
Okay.
all connected. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm using the 20-20-20 formula that I have learned from the 5 a.m. call. But I'm a morning guy. I wake up, at 6 o'clock, and the first thing in the morning what I do is to exercise, because exercising, when you sweat, as I explained, that the PDNF and the other neurotransmitter, which is dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, will all be released through the sweating. And when you exercise and being onto that pharmacy of mastery, it's really a right times to to meditate. So the second pocket of the 20 minutes is I meditate. So meditation, it doesn't have to be only meditations, because part of the meditations is also maybe visualizing. It's part of the meditation, or maybe journaling, and or maybe you're doing a spiritual work like praying. For me, sometimes I do meditation, sometimes I just sit and pray. Sometimes I do the journal, I plan for the day ahead. And the last pocket of the 20 minutes is for reading. I mean, to elevate my mindset and learn new skills. So to answer your question, it's the best time you can do it the first thing in the morning. I discovered that whenever I do meditation at the morning, it's let me go to the office more open, more transparent, more calm, and it releases all the toxic inside my body. I think I connect with my bigger vision and picture, and it helps me a lot. So you can do it first thing in the morning and if you are new to the meditation, you can do it. You can just start with the 1 to 2 minutes, and there is a lot of applications, but I'm using, for example, Headspace application, which is a guided meditations. They can teach you step by step on how to meditate. And but the effect of meditations will not take place or take effect until you practice it on a daily basis. Like anything, that you have to do it on a constant basis in order to form a ritual. So you will not. It's not think that, for example, somebody wants to improve his body, he wants to hit a gym only 1 day in a week, or maybe 2 or 3 days in a month. It won't work. So in order for you to have the full benefits, you have to have a consistency in doing it on every day, or maybe day on another. But but yes, you can do it in the morning. You can do it also in the afternoon before when you leave the office, and you want to enter your home with more fresh mindset, with more energy, so you can sit more with your family and kids.
Okay, I think that's excellent advice. That's all, I think. So I think it was a wonderful session, Hisham. I think it's on excellent session on the self-reflection and how we can utilize such a valuable asset that is brain, that is gifted by God to all of us. So I think it's an excellent session, and the audience, we are getting also very good response. Everyone appreciated your presentation, and of course, it is not possible to cover. It's a very huge area of study. I think brain. It's not possible to cover everything within 1 hour. But of course, we will try to organize more sessions with Hisham in the future. And if audience they have any question, they can just send us by email, or we can just try to take it offline as well from Hisham. And that's all, I think. Hisham, thank you very much. Thanks a lot for your time and for this wonderful session.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you all. Thank you everyone, and we will see you in our next week webinar. Take care and good night.
Bye bye.